Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. We got inflation data out today, so that's pretty cool. Well, it's 2 days in a row that I've sneezed on live stream. I don't know what it is, but I just went for my walk. Maybe it was a little bit of pollen or something. Who knows? We got Christos in the house there. Good morning, Superman. Been holding and accumulating RH cores since 2021. Made my first DG in play today and rolled 10% of my pulse into Peacock. Well, nice one there, Christos. Yeah, Peacock looking very good. And of course, with the big buy and burn, talking about that yesterday. Looking forward to that ramping up in the days and weeks and months ahead. And especially as they roll out all their top DeFi as well. Yeah, Liberty Swap and Peacock looking to be an absolute juggernaut moving forward. Very, very cool. All right, don't forget to get in the chat there as well. Say hello. Are you guys excited? Well, we're going to get the inflation. Inflation is, I think, kind of good today. We got a kind of a neutral result, so that bodes well. We've still got at least a couple indicators to go. We'll get into all of that. We're going to cover the stock market first, get into crypto majors, cover CPI and inflation, and also talk about the bullish news coming out today. So we had the inflation. We've got obviously two big pieces of news coming out tonight for Friday's stock market, and both of them important for crypto. Then we're going to get into Bitcoin, look at the Bitcoin treasuries, see how they're getting on. Obviously, a very good chance that they'll get back to $100 par for preferred stocks, and then we can start raising money from the debt markets again. Good for that to happen in August. And then, of course, we're going to get into, we're going to look at the power law as well, see how we're tracking, and then get into all the PulseChain results as well. So we've got quite a bit to talk about. Should be pretty exciting. And don't forget to get in the chat there. Really, really cool when people are in there and getting active. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, smash subscribe. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels. And also, if you're on X Live, smash the follow. Getting really good growth lately, and definitely been ramping up the content a bit as we sort of bottoming out of this bear market. Maybe within the next month or two, we'll see. And then, of course, PulseChain's are already starting to move well off the bottom. So things are looking pretty good there. And I've got a couple of posts that we might go through today that I put out yesterday that were pretty popular as well. We'll talk about the pros and cons of that. And of course, if you haven't hit the repost on the show, that really helps a lot. Those 2 little arrows, circular arrows next to the big heart on X, smash that repost out. That helps get a lot more people hearing about Bitcoin, Ethereum, PulseChain in particular, and everything else happening in the markets. So get in there, folks. All right. Let's go and kick into gear and start off. This is the results for Thursday, for Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I forget what day it is sometimes. Wednesday. And features that. And they're just down a very fraction. They could be green before we start the new day. Results. But after CPI came out, tech is still upbeat. So the earnings for tech sector is still very good. So the AI kind of theme as well. Let's get to the results. So Dow Jones just down a fraction, like 0.04%, 21 points to 53,770. If we have a look over the last month, we're just off the highs there as well. Looking at the S&P 500, up 0.25%. So really good on the S&P 500, 20 points to 7,748. And of course, I think Tom Lee's mark for the month of August was 8,000. And then we've got the NASDAQ there up 0.5%, 143 points. Just like I say, that tech earnings still supporting the NASDAQ. Obviously, with a neutral, I would say, CPI, we're at 26,588 and just humming along the top there for the record highs. I think that is, or was it just, no, actually June, was it? Beginning of June, yeah. So the Dow Jones course over the last year is just coming off record highs, and the S&P 500 is pretty much around at record highs, and the NASDAQ there is just off the highs, which were on the 2nd of June. Now, in terms of the dollar, we're slightly more elevated here. We're at 99.85 versus the trading partners. You can see over the last year, we're kind of on the top end for the price. But the volatility index, oh my gosh, look at this, guys. 14.55, down almost 5%. That's crazy. Look at that right down near the bottom. That's risk on. That's amazing. So looking really good there with the volatility index. Wow. That was a nice surprise. West Texas, looking at the oils, this is one of the things that's holding us back at the moment, a bit of a headwind. It is not like an aggressive headwind, like a really powerful one, but certainly a modest headwind at the moment. We certainly want this to become a tailwind to support our rally in crypto. We've got West Texas at the moment at down 1.25%, so that is good news. We're heading in the right direction. That's $1 at $82.25, but really, I think the $80 mark's kind of a very important one to get below. And ultimately, if we're going to wipe out all this, Iranian risk premium, then we want to get down to about $63, right? At least that's the target there. So we're halfway there with the premium going away. Now we're going to talk about that with the inflation numbers in a minute. The other thing about that is that the Iranian economy is being wound down. They are under a lot of pressure, certainly, and that blockade certainly having a big play. I think was it the Caspian Sea? Did I say last time with the Russian trade? Probably that's up in the north of Iran. That's probably the place where they're trying to still trade. I'm not sure what the Americans have done up there to prevent that sort of trade up there, but certainly they've been tackling some of the Iraqi border. And of course, you've got the Kurds up in a certain northwest, is it? Never eat soggy Weet-Bix, northwest, yeah. Anyone like that? Never eat soggy Weet-Bix. We've got Blair in the house. Hey, great to see you, Blair. So we've still got a bit of that going on at the moment. But a lot of stuff's happening with economically strangleholding the Iranians as well. They might be extreme end of the world terrorists, but they still like their money, right? Still like their money. Isn't that funny? That's happening there right now. All right, so we'll see what happens. Still elevated oil. Brent oil at the moment down 0.5% to just below $88. And look at gold. Gold's still looking pretty strong there at $4,470. You can see that's a nice little rally there. In fact, breaking through some previous support. Then we've got silver at the moment at $65.60. Moving up as well pretty nicely. A very important bounce at that $56, $57 mark, because 53 was the next one there. It did roll over, of course, but is back on the upside. Copper, of course, is our favorite. Copper is the one that's going to boom from the expanding manufacturing. Remember, our manufacturing index for the last 5-6 months been expanding, and of course that's positive. Copper is being used, and of course we're in the next industrial age, what they call the intelligence age. And of course, we've got all these data centers being rolled out, and everything needs copper. Everything out there needs copper. Pretty powerful there. We already see some of the Bitcoin miners, right, making big contracts to put their services out to support AI, right? So we've got competition now for the Bitcoin as well with AI data centers. So pretty crazy there. All right, so that's kind of where we are. But copper looking good there. And now you can trade copper, of course, in crypto, right? Tokenization, right? So pretty neat. All right, so let's jump into the CPI. CPI came in pretty cool. So consumer price index there, one of the two main indicators. Remember, the CPE is the main indicator, at least up to this point. There's discussion over whether that will be replaced by Chairman Wash. Hopefully it will, because it's actually quite lagged and it's very blunt exercise, the composition of it. And so maybe he might prefer like the trimmed Chicago inflation number, or even better, maybe the trueflation. So that moves to, instead of being lagged, more real-time inflation, right, with the trueflation data. So we'll see what happens there. The consumer price index data for July released on Tuesday showed, it says Tuesday here, but I think was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Showed inflation eased slightly and in line with expectations. And so therefore that's kind of a neutral play. But what it means is that the market's less hawkish, in other words, rate rise, and more dovish. So neutral to dovish is probably where we're heading. We've still got 4 more inflation type indicators to come out before the next Fed meeting. That includes the CPI again for August, and then of course the PPI coming out tonight, I think it is, or tonight or tomorrow. And then we've also got something else that's coming out as well, another PPI, I think, for next month as well. So 4 indicators still to come. But at the moment, we're moving back to neutral, which is better than hawkish, right? So core CPI also fell in July, although the print remained well above the Federal Reserve's 2% annual target. That's still the case. And of course, remember, the core CPI excludes energy and food. Still, the print saw investors slightly scale back expectations and interest rate by the Fed was imminent, and so we'll look at that in a minute. Markets are now pricing in a greater chance the central bank leaves rates unchanged throughout the year. That's positive for crypto, guys. July's inflation print was also driven by softer oil prices following the US ceasefire in mid-June. The agreement has since collapsed, the crude surging back. Of course, we see it come back about 50%, don't we, to the upside, and we're trying to get that down below $80, maybe down towards that 65 or so. Right, so that's kind of the play. On the other side, we obviously had a lot of good tech results there. AI server maker, super microcomputer and cloud computing firm CoreWeaver there, both surged 90%. So still getting some good stuff happening in the AI trade. Of course, we're wanting that to rotate into crypto. That's slowly happening, and we're getting a lot of institutions, moving into crypto while the market is, trying to round the bottom off, as it were. So let's have a look at a quick look at the economic calendar briefly. We're going to deep dive into just a little bit. So for the inflation, just give me an idea of a few things. So this week, let's go to this week's calendar. We can see. Let's go this week. Sorry, this week calendar. We can see that the inflation rate came in at 3.4%. Expectation was 3.4%, and last month, so this is for July and June, it came in 3.5%. So still stuck around there with the nominal inflation rate there. CPI for the month, 0.1% on 0.1%. The core CPI, remember this is on month, 0.2% at 0.2%. So all just matched, isn't it? Funny enough, and that excludes the core, excludes energy and food. So that's come in pretty much at market. So that was kind of cool. If we had slightly beaten market, then we would have seen crypto go up to the upside, wouldn't we? PPI is coming in on Friday there, and that's so this overnight. That would be 0.2% is expected. So this is just a month on month, but that'll be important as well. It's kind of a lead indicator, sort of the factory gate prices, as it were. So we're looking up for the producer's price index. And that's kind of it at the moment. Also coming overnight is the initial jobs claims. That will also be an important data point. Remember, the Fed's has got a dual mandate around employment and inflation. So at the moment, we've been seeing a bit weaker, from mixed to weak in job market. This initial jobs claims will be pretty important. 202,000 initial jobless claims there. If that is less than that, then it's kind of indicating another sort of stronger market, although still mixed. And then, of course, if it's above that, then a weaker market. So we had 199,000 in June. Let's see what happens tonight as well. So those two key more numbers there around the Fed. So let's have a look here at the Fed. Quickly coming up, the meeting that's coming up here at the moment. See, we've got insights aligned in the house there. We're trying to look at some of your questions in a minute or comments. 4 weeks and 6 days ahead. So we've still got quite a long time to go. I mean, basically 5 weeks. On the 16th of September there, we've got the markets moved, and look at us, it moved more dramatically. So we're just over 50% yesterday, if I remember. We're now at 66.6%, so 2/3 of the market now expecting a no change. So yeah, like I say, we ended up getting a pretty good result. Not a super result in terms of pumping right now, but in terms of a no change in interest rates. So 2/3 of the market expecting no change in September. That's in 5 weeks' time. So, pretty good. We've still got the majority of the market expecting a no change in October, but we still have a pretty hefty number there, 52.6% expecting a 25 basis point. That's a quarter of a percentage point. So we'll see how that goes. In December there, also, we've got the majority of the market expecting a 25 basis point rise there to 4%. So, moving towards from 2 rate rises to 1 rate rise this year. And look, I think it might be completely wiped out by the time we get the data. Next month's data, we've got 4 more indicators. One of them's coming out tomorrow, the PPI. So we'll see how that all plays out. So that is the economic calendar there. Let's jump into the consumer price index. This gives you a breakdown of all the details. You can see the components there. Doesn't give you the weightings, but does give you the percentage changes. And you can see in July here some of the changes that's going on. Interesting enough was the summary here. We'll just read the summary here. Let's see here. So we actually had the index of shelter rose 0.1% in July, accounting for roughly 2/3 of the monthly all items increase. The index for food also increased 0.1% over the month, as the index for food away from home increased 0.3%. In contrast, the energy index declined 1.5% in July. So we actually had that decline following, the big oil price rises and everything else. But if we actually look at the components in a bit more detail, the energy commodities, for example, we can actually see they were declined. So gasoline was down 2.9%, and fuel was down 1.7%, but not as aggressively as June. Look at that, negative 9.7, negative 9.2% there. So it looks like we've probably cleaned up most of that decrease in the oil prices coming down. Of course, we have a blip to the upside, so we might see those pep up a little bit in next month. So we'll keep a look out for that. Food away from home, 0.3% up, but food at home is negative 0.1. So you got some interesting numbers there. Of interest, you had now this is not weightings. Remember, this the changes, but you had utility pipe gas service that was up 0.7%. So it was one of the bigger moves higher there. What else there? Another big one was used cars and trucks up 0.4%. So pretty interesting, right? What else is interesting here? Medical care services up 0.6%. That was down in June. So interesting there on the indexes there. So we don't normally get down into compositions and breakdowns, but that's a kind of a little bit of a cool look there. I'll post that in the chat there if any of you guys want to check that out of interest. It's always quite interesting, right? Right, so bam, there we go. So that's the link to the breakdown of the CPI. Let's jump over to the cryptos and see how crypto got on. Well, it got a bit of a pullback. Before we do that, though, let's check. I've got a few comments here. What do we got here? None of those comments I'll really be talking about on the chat here, but welcome to the chat. Insights here, just talking about that. Yeah, cool. Well, good to know. All right, so let's jump forward here. We got the total. We got crypto at the moment is at $2.26 trillion. We're down 0.5% today. So not a bit of a. We knew that if we got a matching inflation rate, that we'd have a bit of a mixed environment, and so that's probably to the downside in the short term, but just a blip in the radar probably. So we'll keep a lookout for the PPI data tonight. Bitcoin is up 0.2% in the current hour, so we're actually recovering a little bit from a little bit of a pullback in Bitcoin, and we've got a 0% change in the rate apparently. Let me just refresh this because a lot of zeros there. Yes, 0%, no change in Bitcoin over the last 24 hours, but is up in the current hour to match that out. What else did we got? Down 1.6% for the week for Bitcoin. Ethereum there flat today as well, down 1.4% for the week. BNB down 1%, up 2.8% for the week there, and that's been performing pretty well. Still $610, nice to see that. XRP at number 6, down 1.7%, down 5.3% this week at $1. Remember, probably the hardest hit by the Clarity Act deferment. Solana there down 0.8%, up 2.2% for the week, $75.63. Obviously, we're expecting a broadening in adoption on Solana, not just meme coin city, but much broader into the tokenization AI space as well, being a beneficiary there. Tron is at 33.5 cents at number 8, up 0.2%, 2.6% for the week, so nice performer there. And then number 10 is Hyperliquid, $56.32, so making a bit of a move after having a few challenges in the last couple of weeks regarding a big seller and, of course, unstaking, as I've mentioned a few times. Down 0.9% for the week, but still doing pretty well. We expect that to continue to scale as we move into the bull market, probably, all things equal, as long as it keeps all that momentum, expecting that to be a big winner, right, with the old Hyperliquid there. Certainly was really got a big trigger going when we had the Iranian conflict at the beginning. Even a lot of the traditional entities on traditional markets couldn't trade the risk on the Iranian conflict, but they could on Hyperliquid, but they had to take the risk of using Hyperliquid. So it was kind of a risk kind of game. Pretty funny. Dogecoin there down 2.7% as well at number 11, down 0.2% for the week at just below 7 cents there on Dogecoin. And of course, we're expecting that to do well with X Money Wallet from Elon Musk particularly once they do wide adoption of the fiat side of things and then move into crypto. And I'm not sure how quickly that's going to happen. Then those time frames have always taken a bit longer than expected. So whether it would be a month after fiat was opened up, at the moment you have to be, I think, a premium plus user on X to get the wallet. And even then, only some have been given that option, I think. So keep a lookout for that. So those are the majors. Let's look at the top 5 and the top 100. Well, Bitway continuing to climb, guys. So it came into the top 100, only 3 days ago, was it? Or 2 days ago? It's now at number 84, up 24.5% today. So pretty awesome. Pushing the old Bitcoin applications, isn't it? just under 26 cents right now. Pretty amazing. So Mantle there, number 2, up 5.9%. Monero up 4.6%. OKB, number 4, up 4.6%. And stable there with the US Tether is there up 4.5%. Interesting enough, we've got Hyperliquid just sitting below there at number 6. Over the last week, we've got Bitway, the top performer there coming in. Like I say, it's kind of a Bitcoin application layer there at 57%. OKB at 15.4%. Pump Fund up 13.8%. Obviously, Pump Fund, one of the top earners in crypto in terms of revenue, fees, etc. And even though they're dump on their community, typical team type thing, but they if they can keep that up, it could be pretty interesting moving forward in terms of people pricing the revenue and the burning going on, things like that. I think that's what's going on there. Mantle at number 4, 13.1%, and Lighter, our new Hyperliquid, right, coming up through the ranks, sort of battling around the $600 million mark. Up 9.5% this week at $2.37. Now, the one thing I say about that, they are working on a bigger option solution, and that could just continue to expand the sophistication and revenue of crypto and Lighter as well. So kind of cool there. Looking forward to that. We've got a few people in the chat here before we move on. We've got Sean O'Malley says Peacock on the fly. Certainly is. It's a fly girl. It's a fly girl there, Sean. Flyboy. I guess Peacock's Flyboy, right? With the big feathers. We got Craig Pittenhouse, morning all. And up only says Sean, indeed. Hashtag winning, indeed, to get the good old award. Insights Alliance says, are Peacock and Zero the same guys? I think they are all. Richard says Insights. Yeah, well, many people think that too. Not out of the ballpark there. We shall see. Tim Top in the house there. What's up, Hexkins? Hey, good to see you, Tim Top. Welcome to the chat as well. All right. I think a lot of people have done a lot of analysis around that. But nevertheless, let's move on. So that is the top performers there. Top 1,000. We've got A Priori up 114%, Thinking Cat up 72%, and Bedrock up 70%. Top 1,000 gainers today. Trending overall, A Priori up 114%, Pudgy Penguins, and Pump Fund there. Let's have a quick look at A Priori. It seems to be the top mover in top 1,000 right now, sitting at number 191. So actually, it's in the top 200. I consider anything in the top 300, of significance. So that's not bad. And of course, A Priori is a decentralized infrastructure protocol building an intelligent order flow coordination layer and liquid staking platform for high-performance blockchains. It provides a specialized liquid staking solution for the Monad ecosystem through its APR Mon token. Protocol features an AI-powered order flow segmentation engine to classify and route trades in real time, and integrates a custom MEV capture mechanism that distributes value to stakers and validators to align network incentives. Well, that's on the move, and it's on Ethereum, right? So A Priori there sitting at number 191. Maybe something to look at, see whether that will continue its momentum. All right, so that's the top performers there. So crypto just down a little bit, but hey, good look, guys. It's coming up in the current hour. So a bit of a recovery there. I think it was just typical it's inflation's flat. Let's just pull it down a bit, and because it was rising a little bit leading into that, right, into the inflation, and let's just pull it down. But so really not too much to see here. The key thing, of course, is that we want to hold the $62,200 on Bitcoin. We really want to hold that to avoid a fourth wave down. Now, as we say, one of the biggest indicators of the bottom of the market is maybe that 57K we had back a few months ago was the bottom, and we have not seen, even with the negative news, we haven't really seen that fourth wave down. We haven't seen that crash yet. So everyone's going, what would that be? What's the catalyst for that? But so far, nothing yet. We still have 4 inflation data points coming out. So we'll just have to take it data by data. I feel like we're the Fed Reserve, just take it as the data comes in. But at the moment, I still think we're getting slightly more tailwinds than headwinds at the moment in crypto. So far, so good. Now, we do have some big catalysts. I talked about the PPI coming out tomorrow, or at least in tonight's trading. But we also have something magnificently huge. Obviously, we have the deferment of the Clarity Act to the 15th of September. But we actually have the SEC, so the Trump administration moving with the SEC, the CFTC, they're all moving to get regulations in place for crypto. It's going to be pretty exciting. So SEC moves to let Wall Street's biggest stock trade 24/7 on the blockchain as soon as Friday. So this could be really exciting. So that could be within the 2 days' time. So this could be a big catalyst for the weekend. for a nice little run. So we had pretty much a neutral inflation. We get good PPI data coming out tonight, and then we have this come out. We could see a nice little rally on the old crypto, so giving us support over that $62,200 Bitcoin, and a rally into the weekend could be pretty nice. Obviously, we want to get over 65K, 68K, and then we could probably rally up to 74 plus, and of course 74 is key numbers for 25 and 24. So let's see how we go. Could be pretty good. All right, so the innovation exemption would allow tokenized versions of stocks like Apple and Nvidia to trade around the clock on blockchain platforms without full registration. The plan is championed by SEC Chair Paul Atkinson, with details expected at Friday's opening meeting. And we may see some other things come out of there too. I did talk about a couple of those things yesterday, including banking opening up for crypto firms. So it's all hyper bullish. I mean, there's all super bullish stuff. All right, so that is some of the big news there. Now, looking at Bitcoin on the hourly, you can see us. We had the running up into inflation. We got up to 64,400, then a big sell-off all the way down to 63,300. We've just been chopping around there at the moment. Currently at 63,363. Let me just refresh this, make sure that it's not stuck. Sometimes they get stuck. Let's see. So it's okay. So 63,374. Let's see how this goes. Let's look at the. Let's go to the daily chart. Daily chart, we're sitting just above the daily moving average 50-day at 63,380. So right on that right now, exactly on that. So very important we hold around this level, and certainly as you guys can see, 62,200. Very important we hold that blue line here. So we avoid these, the fourth wave down. We had the first wave, second wave, third wave, and we don't, the fourth wave would be, potentially down to 40, 50K, which would be a 60% pullback. We are expecting a shallower pullback because of the change in the markets with institutional investment and corporations and everything else that's going on, the digital credit, targeting debt market. So we are expecting a more shallow pullback this cycle. And what would be the catalyst? So far, we're holding up against negative news, which is a bullish sign too. But we still have got the bear scenario into October. Some say it might even be slightly later, but October is typically the period where most people see. But it doesn't necessarily have to play that way if everyone's calling it, right? So we'll see. We've still got time. Now we are in the decision. If we go to the weekly, we are in the decision mode for whether the market's going to make that move, because we know that it's been like 8 to 12 weeks between these waterfalls down. So we're kind of in that zone right now. But you can see, we came down to this level already in February, and we're kind of back at that level now. So, obviously we want to hold the 62,200 mark, and was the bottom back here in late June at 57,700 down here. So pretty key area. We're in this the next 3 weeks. Obviously, we're still expecting August to be pretty bullish, but we've still got the next couple of weeks is decision time. But so far, I would say supportive to holding sideways, or at least to the upside slightly. So and maybe we get that play out. If we get a good weekend this weekend, based on all this regulatory stuff coming out from the SEC or CFTC, that we might actually see a summer rally into the 74 mark, maybe even slightly higher, but we'll see. At the moment, the weekly moving average in orange is 63,549. So we're around there too. So we're all around these moving averages, and then when you got the 50 moving average at 82,500, which happens to be also our last resistance area on our before our third wave down. So I think kind of the structure's kind of changing, kind of looking positive to the upside. And of course, on this orange line, this 200 weekly moving average, kind of the 4-year cycle curve, or let's call it the dynamic 4-week cycle, is that's hardly any times that it's below here. It's been such an exceptional time buying, right? This year, back here, was an exceptional opportunity back then. I think that's when we had a lot of the FTX and other things like that. But here, it's looking pretty good. So I don't know, it's looking pretty good generally overall. I think we got more tailwinds than headwinds, but we've still got work to do, particularly around oil prices, and still got to see 1 more month's worth of inflation data. So that's kind of the stuff. But on the positive side, regulatory stuff being supported by the SEC, CFTC, and we've got the Clarity Act coming in the 15th September. I'm not holding my breath on that because it's very political, because we're coming into the midterms, and we know the Democrats don't want to give Trump any wins even if maybe up to 18 of them in the Senate are, a crypto pro, because 18 voted for the Genius Act and the stablecoins, right? And we've had about 10 people at least working on this Clarity Act, along with some of the Republicans. So it's going to be interesting. We're going to get 60 votes. First of all, we've got to get the actual vote, a cloture vote there on the 15th. So fingers crossed. We'll see how that all plays out. There's really nothing holding it back, right? I mean, it's just silly politics as usual. All right, so that's it. I said nothing, but it's politics. That's politics there. All right, let's jump into the treasuries. Obviously, we're looking to get digital credit back online, so we can tap the debt markets, trillions of dollars of debt markets, and this would buy tens of thousands of Bitcoin. So you can see this would be a major catalyst to the upside. So we're always looking for these the catalysts, and on the digital credit front in Bitcoin, we've got MSTR has reset its capital management. How long have they got to go? Are they going up in 3 years? I kind of feel like they might be. They are already at last year's, they're already at 2.7 years, which is where they were before they paid off their convertible debt. And so, or part of their convertible debt. So we'll see where they stop there. Next week is going to be very important as well. So maybe we have good news around the SEC this Friday, good PPI data. We have a nice little rally in the weekend, and then we get the weekly updates next week. If he's selling more Bitcoin, it's always a bit of a drag. But if he's getting up to 3 years, and maybe they do some other stuff, they buy back, common stock MSTR. They buy back, maybe not MSTR, but they buy back the preferred stock Stretch, trying to get it, if it hasn't already got back to $100, they're trying to get it back up there. Then that's kind of all positive, I guess. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Next week might be the final week, maybe, before of selling Bitcoin, perhaps. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, on the bullish side, 21 Capital looking bullish. Metaplanet will be bullish moving forward. Mara has been a bit negative with the selling, and I think they may have stopped. And then we've got Bitcoin Standard Treasury should be bullish on the Bitcoin acquisition. Also should be bullish, and Strive should be bullish. So Strive, of course, at the standout, right? Sits there, and look, they're up to 20,167 so far, so good. Run by professional money market managers, and probably where a lot of Michael Saylor is getting some of his ideas from, right? They're very connected there. So that's pretty cool. We're also seeing some, positive buying from Trump media, etc. Some of the smaller DATS, H100 group up as well, 3,500. So they've been really cool buyers there. Keep a lookout for H100. Probably get some good things happening there. And of course, Orange G BTC. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. But that's also on the upside. So you can see actually the Bitcoin DATS are pretty active, and no one's slowing down, right? For the most part, except for maybe Mara. And I think this just bodes well for sucking all that supply off the markets, guys. And this is just the digital asset treasuries. Doesn't include all the other corporates and retail and sovereign states and everything else for the most part. So exciting stuff. But what we're interested in is getting that money from the debt markets to pump Bitcoin, and of course, float that money around crypto generally, as we want to head towards $1 million Bitcoin. Yeah, I said it. Now, people are obviously guessing, is it going to be, what year in the future? I'll get to that when we get to the power law coming up. But anyway, we've got Stretch at the moment, $95.50. It's only $4.50 away, guys. Woohoo! It's getting there. Can I do it in August? Can I do it next week? Let's see. So anyway, we could see the price here on the regular hours on the stock market overnight. Got up to what the best time was at the beginning, $95.75. So it's getting there. Remember, this was all the way down at $75. We're back at 95, so we're not too far, $4.50 away. And of course, you can see the volumes coming in during the regular hours. Look how it tapers off on the pre-market and post-market. Crazy. And of course, now you can trade, you can buy and hold Stretch in tokenized stocks on crypto now. So if you've got some of that in your wallet, welcome to the stock market. You don't need a broker. Kind of cool. All right. What else we got going there? Let's go to SATA, which is the Strive one. So that's Stretch is the preferred stock for strategy. Strive's one is SATA, and it's at $99.23 OMG. I'm like a little teenager. OMG. 99 here. Maybe a teenager from 20 years ago, right? They probably don't say that these days. They probably say something else. So totally wrecked. I don't know what the heck they say, but well, you get the idea. All right, so we got the price here, the price action, and you can see how violent it is for the old SATA here. and did have a peak out. What they peak out at $99.46 or something. So it's getting there. It's so close, guys. It's less, let's say it's less than 60 cents away from hitting, 56 cents away from $100. So that's so close. But they said that they may or may not buy, raise more debt market money. But I think they will. I think they will. I haven't looked at their stats at the moment, but yeah, I'm sure that they'll probably end up buying after all this time. Not buying. I'm sure they want to buy. I remember they were buying when they were raising money. They were buying like 2,500 Bitcoin, 3,500 Bitcoin, weren't they? So yeah, and look, these guys have a chance to probably be the fastest growing company, right? If Strategy is going to be the most valuable company, obviously competing with the likes of SpaceX or something. But if it does become a debasement trade, store of value trade, all that style of stuff, the supply disappears. You guys know it. Then it could be pretty exciting. So that is the treasury. So they are getting there, guys. We're just following that, and maybe next week's updates could be supportive of that. If they buy back more stretch and all that sort of stuff, you guys know it. So we'll check you back in on this next week. But if it does hit $100 tomorrow, I'll talk about it. But probably next week is the best chance there, following the weekly updates. It's quite weird, isn't it? That we're so used to 24/7 markets, and it is happening in tokenization stocks slowly and surely. But the regular markets there on the old crypto, on the old stock market, I should say. Now, this is the power law. It's kind of our best model for Bitcoin going forward, and it's been holding up pretty well. Certainly got a bit breached slightly this year, but we're going to have a look at it. So you can see that Bitcoin's just been tracking up here. The purple line is the resistance line, kind of the top of the range of expectations. The green line there is kind of like the average line, and the bottom line there is the support line, right? And you can see it's sort of bounced off the support line all the time. And this goes all the way back to 2011. You can see these big banana parts, where the rail Paul talks about, and we've had several of those. One, two, arguably this is maybe three even, and then let's say that third one, and then a fourth one. We were waiting for the fifth one, right? And we were waiting for that, and I think that's ahead of us. I think that's ahead of us right now, and particularly feeling bullish about next 6 to 24 months, right? That zone's looking very good indeed. Certainly under the Trump era, with such huge capital investment in the U.S. economy, dominating oil now. They're producing as much oil now in the U.S. as Russia and Saudi Arabia together. I mean, think about that, guys. It's a game changer. Number one gas exporter now too. I mean, some serious stuff there. Dominating energy is one of the key aspects of economy you want to dominate. The United States is doing that now. And that comes back to the Iranian trade as well. They are redirecting a lot of flow through Iran and through the Strait of Hormuz, through other pipes in other Middle East countries, including exports from the United States. Trump's playing a multifaceted game there on the economic front because he knows how powerful that is. And so I think moving forward, there'll probably be way less oil flow going through the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, it's about 20%. I think it's going to be dramatically reduced there, just reducing that pressure on oil prices globally. So I think we're getting, he's forcing a structural change there. It's going to end up being pretty beneficial. And of course, the Americans will benefit the most there. All right, so let's jump into, people are buying up too. So here we are bottoming on the support line here. Sort of our little breach that we had, a support line there, back there on the around the beginning of July. But anyway, we're kind of almost bouncing off it again. So we're just such a good time to buy right now based on the power law. It's bang on the bottom here. And of course, the bottom, the upside is tremendous. Look at that. I mean, a banana curve up the top here, pretty exciting. Now, I'm pretty hyper bullish over the next, what happened there? I got too glitchy there with the old map. But we're expecting the banana part in here to come up here in the next 2 years. I'm expecting that. We've got all the right forces to support that. And I'm feeling very good about that happening. So getting one of these banana runs. And of course, that's magic money, right? Magic money. That's what we're all waiting for, right? That's what we're all waiting for. Keep it. Crypto says more power, more better. USA, 100% there. Yeah, because look, think about the alternatives. Communist and Marxist countries, they are horrible. Imagine having some idiot, because they're always run by idiots. They might be clever. People think that because they're clever, that they're real smart, but they're not. I mean, anyone can steal and thieve and control people, right? Anyone can do that. You can have an idiot do that, but we want freedom, we want prosperity and safety, right? So we've got our own problems in the West, as you guys know. I won't get too much into geopolitics. but we've got a bunch of clowns running our countries, destroying them. Destroying them really are. And USA there is the USA, maybe Poland, a few others like that are the only countries in the West that are doing the right things. We've got Woody in the house. Hey, Woody. Hi, super. Hey, good to see you, Woody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so this is where we are right now. Looking very excited. So, man, it's right in front of us. Can you see it? We're bouncing off here. Banana part right in front of us. OMG. Come on, let's go. Let's be a teenager for a day. OMG. I don't know why I started saying that today, but anyway. All right, so that is kind of cool. Oh, look, there's myself on stream. Don't forget to smash the repost there. If you guys are watching, enjoying the content, smash the repost because we're about to get into PulseChain, right? We're about to get the PulseChain. Let's set this up. And as you guys know, the largest PulseChain influencer doing daily shows covering the comprehensive coverage of PulseChain. So we don't just do one or two things. We pretty much cover it all within a good review. And we go through the top 100 coins or pairs every day and also the global metrics. So, yeah, we're really the only one doing that on a daily basis. So very cool. Spread the word. Spread the word. We're going to have a look at the PulseChain charts. Let me know if you've been enjoying these little clip out videos that I've been doing over the last couple of days. I've sort of been doing that last 3 days. Bit of an experiment also. Let's see how that goes. But we'll be, trying to keep doing that for at least the next week. And if it's productive, then we will continue it moving forward. All right. Let me see what else we got here. We're going to bring up the PulseChain chart and we're going to bring up the Hex chart. I'm going to do that too. I do think that PulseX and ProveX are going to be big movers, particularly PulseX. We'll get to that. Let me just let me find this. Where are we going here? We're at Pulse. We're at Pulse. Where'd it go? We're at Pulse there, down there. All right. We're at Pulse, still looking very good on the charts. I'm just looking at it now. Still looking very good. Pretty flat today on the price, but that's good. Flat is good. Down, not so good. Flat is good. So let me find out the Hex chart here. In fact, I might just pull up one of the pairs. Let's see where the pairs are for Hex. Obviously on a bit of a pullback today, but still looking very good. What's the biggest pull there? Let me pull that pull. Let's see if that works. Might talk about that separately, so I'm going to put that over there. Don't worry, I'm almost set up here, so we're getting there. Hex down about 7.8%. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll go to the daily chart too. All right. Actually, I might get rid of the RSIs. Let's do that too on the old PulseChain. And we've got the daily as well. Yeah, let's go to the daily. I always start with the daily, and then we can look at the shorter and longer time frames. Let's go into the top of the markets there. All right. I think we're good. Loving the clips here, Sean. Oh, great. And then I'll keep trying to do that, certainly for the first week. And I did about 4 clips yesterday, but I'm only going to try and do about two clips a day of PulseChain X charts, PulseX charts, Peacock charts, anything that's good. I might even do a PDI. I don't know. I might even do a PDI chart. I mean, that could happen. But yeah, let's see. We will check on PDI today. Let me pick that up too. Let me pick up that. Let me pick that chart up as well. I don't know what news we've had today. Often I check the news before I do the stream, obviously, because that's what I'm going to talk about. But let's have a quick look, see where that's at. Okay, we're gonna do it. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so where are we going here? We're going back to the charts. Let's do it. Loving the clips. I love that. All right, so PulseChain, day 1,188. For those that are new to PulseChain, it is a full system state fork copy of Ethereum. So it's fully battle tested. And that was on the 10th of May, 2023. So if anyone had, assets over on Ethereum, they got copied over to PulseChain, and then we've had price discovery ever since, right? So price discovery there. A couple of things that didn't occur, right? We didn't have an Oracle supporting a lot of the Oracle contracts, some of the big contracts like MakerDAO, etc. We've obviously had quite a journey since then. I won't get into all of that, but here we are today, 1,188 days. PulseChain launched 3 days later on the 30th of May, 2023, and we're almost 1,200 days onwards here, so 1,188. Pulse at the moment is up a fraction, 1/5%. We'll take that. It is sitting at 509745. I'm going to ignore the zeros from now on, so it's at 9,745, just below 4 zeros, 1,000. So it's looking pretty good as the old Pulse at the moment. Hex at the moment is down 7.5% after super rally. a mega rally. We're going to talk about that too in the charts. We're certainly sitting at 2,700 penny. Actually, if it can hold anything near that, that's very, very good. We'll look at the charts in a minute. PRUVEX at the moment is at 4055, up 3%. Like I say, looking good there. And PulseX at the moment up 0.6% at 509 something. We're going to talk about that too. And then Ink Token at 46 cents, just under 0.5%. So generally, pretty good day in the office for PulseChain after such a big rally, holding up pretty well. And of course, Hex had a hyper move, so not surprised that's down a little bit there. Let's go to the gas prices. These are the global metrics we look at on the Crypto Night Show. The gas prices, obviously, you want a cheap chain, relatively speaking. You want it to get more expensive as demand comes in. That reflects a generally more valuable chain, and therefore your portfolio should be generally more valuable. 68 pulse per PulseX swap right now, 0.07 of a penny. We're sitting at 460,000 beats, a little bit higher than the low, but certainly still pretty cheap to do business on PulseChain. Validators at the moment, this has been growing, right? With as Pulse has been rallying, this has been growing, which is cool. We're at 46,900. We've gone up a couple more dozen validators, so slowly climbing back up there. We fell from about 51,000 down to 42 or something, 43,000, somewhere in that ballpark, and then we're back up, to 40, almost 47. So very cool following the PulseChain chart, as you would expect, right, with the value. Looking at the liquid bridge, which is our sort of a big lead indicator, this has been very, very cool. So we've been getting a lift in prices, get a lift in volumes, and a lift in TVL. It's all been pretty good. So we're at 65 million. And if we look at the last 30 days, you can see, we're kind of coming off that bottom there. This is the bottom exactly, actually, the beginning of this chart, 47, 42. So we're up about, 18? Let's just round it there, maybe about 18 million. I think we've been as high as 20, 21 million recently. So just off the top there the other day, we were at 67. So it's about 20 million, isn't it? So we're probably about 18 now. We've got a first negative day that we've had for a while, down 2.8%. Still up 12% for the week and 35% for the month. And we've still got a pleasing another positive day, $117,000 net. So we'll take that. USDC coming in 135, wrapped ETH coming in 87. So yeah, we've actually had more wrapped ETH leave today, about 9 net. But the USDC is way net. We've got 100,000 net USDC coming in. Very cool on that front. And we've got about 35K net USD Tether coming in as well. We'll take that as well. So there we go. A good day in the office again. So let's give that a clap because it's been very pleasing. All right, so that's the crypto global numbers. So holding up pretty well is the old chain. And let's look at the PulseChain chart. So I'll probably clip this out too later on the Pulse. This is the daily chart. Everything is heading up pretty well. And even when I put out clips and we've got bullish headlines, it's just typically we're just in that zone. You've got to let it sort of simmer a little bit. And here we are. We've got the 21 daily moving average crossing the 50, very bullish short time frame there. We've got the 200 up here at 50995, so 9,950, just shy of that 401,000. It's teasing us, isn't it? Teasing us because you guys know it's so important to get back over that, lose that zero. And we're just on the brink of that right now. We have had the double tap of 5,400 on the 9th of June and the 13th of July. Assuming we don't have a fourth wave down in the crypto majors, and I'm feeling very good about this chart, that being the bottom, 5,400. So I think it's way more probable than not at this stage. We have a nice little uptrend happening at the moment over the last so and so days. Let's have a look at these days. Over the last 31 days, so 1 month. Very cool. We had 11 red months down, pretty brutal. We're currently on our second green month, so looking good there. And we're up 78% from the bottom over the last 31 days. We're currently, that's pretty dramatic, right? So awesome stuff happening with the Pulse. We've got a nice little consolidation here, I think, happening. So all things equal, we're going to have a look at the shorter time frame. So let's jump over to the, so actually, before we do that, let's go to the RSI here. Oh, actually, let me go full screen again. Let me go to the RSI. So the RSI on the daily at 67, so it's eased off. It's still elevated, but not overbought yet, right, over the 70 mark. So sitting at 66. The stochastic's kind of in the middle at 50, so still got room to move to the upside here on the daily. So let's have a look at the 4 hour and see if we've got that same momentum, same opportunity there. 4 hour here, we're just simming around the 21 moving average on the 4 hour, but well above the 50, and we bounced off the 50 the other, maybe yesterday or so. So kind of cool, still looking pretty good. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI is our friend here. We're at 50 on the RSI. We've got stochastic down here at 12. I think we're looking pretty damn good here for a move higher still. This 4 hour, they're giving us a low confidence. Remember the 4 hour, kind of the trader's point of view. And if we match that with the daily, I think we've still got a good economic energy here. Therefore, with the markets that we saw on the PulseChain, actually looking pretty healthy. And so, yeah, so far so good. We haven't had any whale come along and smash the chart. And maybe they're all ready for, maybe the psychology is already flipped to get that really positive movement. We're still in the first wave, so we're still not out of the woods yet. We're still not got escape velocity, as I call it. But let's go to the weekly charts quickly. The weekly there, we've got plenty of room to move. Look at that, 49. We've got heaps of room to move to the upside. We are high on the stochastics, probably a somewhat limiting factor. This is lagged, but with that 4 hour and the daily looking still pretty good, I'm still feeling pretty confident here. And with the 21 weekly average at 508668, so 8600, 8700, we're above that right now. So that's very, very bullish. And our next target really, I think it's just losing the 4 zeros is should be pretty easy where we are right now. And that 1200 target is on the back, right? So let's assume we got our first goal done. 5400 is the low. We're assuming no pullback in the markets, no geopolitical, risk there. Like China doesn't invade Taiwan or something, something crazy like that. Then we're looking pretty good. So 1200 is the mark, and this has got horizontal. This was one of our, as we were coming down this chart, we had lower highs and lower lows. There we go. That's a damn L's. But this horizontal is very important. And I think once we get over this 1200, then we are starting to get our second goal, right? Second goal is to break this mega downtrend that we've had for over 3 years. And then we can really start to dream about all these parabolics and doubling a price, moving up and forward into this green line, right? This mega uptrend rather than mega downtrend. Changes the psychology of the market. We get different momentum, and we get this positive flywheel kind of action going. And it's not necessarily just made, just straight up, but certainly a positive potential parabolics, flowing through from that. So kind of cool on that one. And of course, if we go to the longer time view on the monthly, we can see we had those brutal 11. Let me get rid of the RSIs. We had those brutal 11 months there. We're about a year after the SEC defeat that was a victory for PulseChain, and we've got our second green month here, and so far so good. This blue line is sort of what we're trying to get to at the moment. So bust past 1200, that's our next target. Get up to 1700 would be really great. Coming back and retesting that 1200 or 1700 would do pretty dreamy. You can see it on the chart here, but easier. That is the 1000 mark there. So we want to get over that next, get up to 1200. And maybe you go to 17 and come back and test that as well. So that's kind of the scope right now of this chart. So we'll see how we get on. Let's see how we go here. Now I'm just going to bring up the Fibonacci extension quickly. I'm going to take it to the top of that move there and just give a sort of updated. So I think we're sitting pretty comfortable here. And if you look at the weekly, we've got the weekly 50 moving average at 1540. We want to get somewhere like 17, so get over there, come back and retest and go up. Like the sort of blue line is illustrative of kind of the idea. So that's the second target, and that's to beat this mega downtrend, right? That's our second goal. And so that's kind of where we are. And so this 1.68 is a 13.53 based on this, and that sort of gets us up in that zone. So fingers crossed. So pretty good. So 1200, 1350, kind of our next target zone there for potentially the next move is kind of the play, and maybe as high as 1500. If we do get above that and go to 17, that would be very cool. That would be our resistance area on the horizontal with our lower highs, and that's kind of the play out. So we're going to keep watching that. That is the key mark there. On the monthly, of course, if we look at the RSI, look at that dream run, guys. That's we are at that big green mega uptrend, because the RSI, because of our mega downstream, is sitting only at 38, but it was down at 36. So we're just starting to come up there, but plenty of room to move. It's not going to just be straight up. Of course, you guys know markets go up and down. We've got to have profit takers, etc. We're also getting a rounding in the stochastic on the monthly. So I think we're set up really well for the long term there. Now, this is the base case. Obviously, we get the magic case. that's the Richard Hart and the ETH and everything else, then that's something a bit further down the track there. We'll keep watching out for that, for those that believe. Right, so there we are. That's the PulseChain. Let's jump into the top movers at the moment on the overall on PulseChain. We've got $5.4 million of volume today, so a bit sad because obviously we've got a bit of a flat, bit of a demure day. But 5.4 million is better than 2.5 to 3.5 million, which is what we've had most of the time during the bear market bottom recently. And so 5.4 million, we'll take it. We are at 406,000 transactions right now. We do have a bit more volume in the PH universe, balance of forks, a fork, but a bit addition there. Let's look at the breakdown. PulseX V2, our biggest DEX, 4.2 million, 9mm. Been doing 900 to a million. It's down at 2/3 of a million today. 6666. Oh, that's a bad omen. That's pretty funny. We got Liberty Swap there sitting at 210. That's down quite a bit. And SwitchX at number 4. Our V4 is down at just below 200k. Finvestor, our new DEX V3 is at 48k. They've been doing not too bad, have they? 50 to 60k. That's pretty good. Uniswap as well. Is 29k, and I always like to say, remember, it was Hexkins and Richard Hart that made Uniswap popular. Now it's one of the most valuable protocols in crypto, dominating DEXs, right? And DEX revenue, pretty crazy stuff. All right, so that's kind of the play. Looking at our volumes, we're going to Uniswap. Most of it is Hex and stablecoins and wrapped ETH. Looking at Vinvestor here, most of the volume is Peacock Ninjas and Teddy Bear. It's definitely tapered off a little bit, but still most of the volume there. SwitchX is a V4. So we've got one V2, three V3s, and a couple, or two V2s there, three V3s and one V4. DEX volumes on SwitchX, mostly Richard Cores, Wrapped ETH, and Switch. And then Liberty Swap. Let's have a look at that Liberty Swap there. Liberty Swap probably has the broadest range, actually. Funny enough, we've got Pulse, Peacock, Wrapped ETH, PDI, PulseX, Peacock Ninjas, a bit of stablecoin. So it's actually, and a bit of wrapped Bitcoin down there as well. So it's actually probably got the broadest brush. So I guess Liberty Swap happy with that. 9mm, most of the volume on 9mm is the Richard Cores, and then on PulseX it is the Richard Cores, particularly Hex. We do have occasional new protocol launching as well. I'm not endorsing any of those, of course. Atropa comes in every so often as well. Peacock down there. Those are kind of the key ones. So let's look at the top 100 as we do most days. We've got this giving tree just launched 12 hours ago. Obviously, nothing's financial advice when we're going through this top 100. Occasionally, there will be a honeypot or a scam popping up there. So do your due diligence on any of those. And so, yeah, no, I don't always check or know who's launching things. Sometimes I do. It just depends on what I've been checking or not. But once again, that is out there at the moment. Anyway, so brand new token, it is up. It may or may not be safe, but there it is at the moment on the old giving tree. Let's move on. P-Mint, one of the PDI projects, up 31%. It's been quite violent on this old PDI, P-Mint, hasn't it? Look at that big downtrend there, and then the last 2 days it's been up. So that is P-Mint there. You put in PDI and you get P-Mint, right? So it's probably only, it's self-fulfilling down chart, is it? Self-fulfilling down chart. We got Peacock Ninjas with the OG Redshift up 20%. Nice little bounce back there. It stopped doing $200,000 volumes, but still doing 60k or plus or something like that. This is the daily chart on this particular pair. So it's bounced off 4 zeros 1500, now at 4 zeros 2000. A little bit of jump back there. 41k volume on 20k liquidity. You got to love the old OG Redshift stuff. What else we got there? P Tiger from Crypto Tiger God, one of our influencers. Apparently he holds a big bag of this, but it's up 15 cents, sitting at 2/10 of a penny. And it's had 3 weeks in a row. Let's have a look at the daily chart. Try to keep on the daily as much as I can, but sometimes our charts are so long, depending on how long they've been around. But that's been a pretty big rally on there. That's up 500% in 16 days, so 6x on the old P Tiger. Once again, apparently there's some big holders there, so just take note of that. What else? Unity from Cryptographics. Boy, first time we've seen it up the top here. OMG. I did it again, OMG. What the heck? My bad. I apologize for my teenage baby. But from 20 years ago, maybe. We got let's go up here. Let's go up here. Right. I gotta stop getting myself in these twists and turns. We're at 51% on the old. It's on the 4 hourly. Let me go to the daily chart. Oh, that's right. It's bizarre. I don't know why it's doing on these some charts. Anyway, that's up today. So good on you, Unity. A Troper from James Maria up 13% as well. I'm just having a look at these. Let's look at the Troper die peer. And this is the that's the daily. So the last 2 days have been up, but it's pretty volatile, right? And imagine writing this and having your portfolio go up and down like this all the day, along with the Troper. But still, let's have a look at the weekly. The weekly uptrend is still pretty good. It bounced off 2.1 cents, is now at 4.3%. So it's a 2x there, so not too bad with that one. All right, look at that liquidity, 22.3 million. Pretty ridiculous number, isn't it? But James Maria got his genius magic. I guess that's what people are backing now. Die Hard has recently returned to the top coins at number 8, up 10.5%. So we've got 8 coins or 8 pairs, I should say, over 10% today in the top 100, and we're sitting at 2.2 cents at the moment on Die Hard. Second day in a row, I think, isn't it? Or 3 days actually. And it's got here 3 days with a bit of volume, but we got that big volume candle the other day, and it's continued to go up. So not bad. And if you take the bottom down here on the 14th, then that's at 3/4 of a penny. So if we do that math with the old percentage thing tool, we're up 200%, so 3x in 29 days. So a nice little return there on the monthly for Die Hard. The Teddy Bear, James Maria. So we've got a Troper, obviously James Maria up, but we also got his meme coin Teddy Bear up 8% as well, number 9. Also at 11, 12, 13, 14. In the middle there, of course, is another James Maria Reserve Tay, up 8%. Of course, something that XUSD plays around with, right, with their pools. Number 15, Liquid Loans, has also been moving up. At top liquidity fork, uses Pulse as a collateral, and stablecoin USDL. The loan token up 6%. This is still continued to rise, and that's looking pretty consistent. And we've had a couple little red wicks there. There's a bit of profit taking, but that's been up and on the up there. In fact, over the last 30 days, so the same period that we saw a Die Hard, this is up 400%, so 5x on that too. Not too far away from Hex itself, right? Which is probably on par with Hex at the moment with this little pullback. But that's pretty awesome there. Not Liquid Loans is becoming less liquid, but that was our third biggest sacrifice, $52 million. Crypto Crazy, of course, going around doing conferences and about to launch a mobile app for Liquid Loans. So that's been probably well received. Moving to number 16, we've got Zero Trust. So we're starting to get into the Peacock tokens now. So Zero Trust here up 5.4%. And who was it that earlier? We got Diamond Hands in the house. Big shout out, Diamond Hands. Welcome to the chat as well. But earlier we had, who was in the chat here? We got Insights here. Says are Peacock and Zero the same guys? I think they're all Richard. So there we go, from Insights. Well, it does feel like that. It does have a lot of looks like that. But they have neither confirmed nor denied, as far as I know. I have done a bit of research on that myself and not come to anything conclusive. There are a few team members out there apparently that are public, but it's still pretty elusive. But everything looks very much like Richard Hart's roadmap. If you guys remember Richard Hart's roadmap from a couple of years back, I used to have it on the clipboard here, but I don't know. Maybe I deleted it when I tidied up my my files. But anyway, Zero Trust here at 5.4%. Pulse 6 got one of the peers here as well at number 17. There's no only a little bit of volume up there, but it's 4.7%. Now getting into the other peacocks, we've got Zero, we've got Zendog. Zendog also part of the trifecta for Liberty Swap at 4.4%, and then we get into Peacock. Peacock market cap now hit 10 million again. It's up 3.9% today. And of course, I did a video yesterday on the 10x buy and burn. This will be a ramp up, and so we'll be watching that. I did save the contracts to something. And let me just quickly check if I got that. It's got it on a different browser. What are we going to say? What am I looking for here now? I'm not sure which portfolio tracker I put it on. There's a number of good ones out there. I just can't remember. Yeah, it's not showing up. I'll have to look at that again. I will try again tomorrow. I did do what I said I would do yesterday, but I need to set it up a bit better maybe. We got Zendog is up through 4.3%. And Peacock sitting at 1.2 cents. So Peacock finally making a move. Let's look at the biggest peer. You can see it's sort of dragged up there. And let's look let's go full Monty here, but looking pretty good, isn't it? That is looking very good indeed. So that is the 1 hour charts. You can see the rally on the news of the 10x. So went up there, came down a little bit there, gone back up, and third attempt at 1.2 cents. Can it do it? Can it break out? We'll see. We've certainly got room in the RSI on it. Let's go to 4 hour though, which is more of a trader's view. Still got room, elevated at 67, but still got a bit of room to move higher. It might slowly tune, and that buy and burn got to kick into gear, right? The daily there, look at that, 3 days now green, that big volume candle. And of course, going to need a bit of volume here to move it back up, I would suggest. Not a lot, but just a bit, just to keep climbing. Obviously, you're always net buying at the end of the day. But we are above the 50-day moving average, the 21-day moving average, the 9-day moving average, the 34-day moving average, and the 200-day moving average, which is at 1.1 cents. So we're above all the moving averages here, looking pretty good. We're on the daily RSI. We have got plenty of room to move. We're at 63, and as I said, on the 4 hour, we're at 67. So we're going to keep humming along there. On the weekly, we've got tons of room. Look at that, 53. So lots of support there. As I say, there's a pretty big volume. It's one of our biggest volume peers. LP peers. It's got a lot of satellite LP pools tied into it, and so it does need a certain amount of volume and obviously net buying to push the price up. But we are expecting see all the protocols that have launched. We're expecting many more protocols to launch in the months ahead. And also with this now 10x buy and burn mechanism, which we're going to look at as well. Now they've been burning around about 100,000 peacock a day, which is about $1,000 at 1 cent. So if they can get a 10x mechanism on that working, obviously that'll be pretty interesting. And obviously more fees that they're going to make that a lot easier. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. Let's have a look at the holders here on the and look at the buy and burn. So the buy and burn is now coming off the total supply using the pump tires burn feature, and you can see that was at 1 billion. It is now at 995 million to 174,000. So it's basically what's that? Just over 4.8 million has been burned off the peacock. Plus, if you add in the original peacock burn at the beginning, plus the Liberty Swap burn that they were doing before they used pump tires, they already had 154.4 million burned. So we're looking at about 16% burned, and now we're talking about accelerating this burn up to 10x. So instead of 100,000 a day coming off this total, we should start to see it moving up higher. And I'm not exactly sure what that ramp up is going to look like. But if you're moving up to 10, if you're at 1 cent still, we're not at 1 cent now, we're at 1.2. But at 1 cent, that'd be a million burn a day. Now, the key part, of course, is there's probably only 30 million or so peacock in LP pools, and that's the most important thing, right? How much LP is actually, and of course, a lot of it's in V3 as well. So how is that structured too, right? So we could see some potentially some pretty interesting moves in the price to the upside here on the chart. So you got a weekly breakout here, also above all the moving averages on the weekly. So yeah, exciting times. Let's see how it goes. That is the peacock there. We're going to probably check out the news as well at some stage, but yeah, I'm not sure if they've got any news out overnight. Let's have a quick look at the news quickly. I didn't want to spend too much time on the peacock today since we covered it quite a bit yesterday, but we'll have a quick look, have a quick nosy since it is one of the leaders today. Let's see if we've got anything. Yeah, okay, 11 hours ago, we are testing gas tank, so that product is coming before release, so that'd be pretty cool. ZK Wallet and Peacock are receiving an important upgrade, bringing us one step closer to making Peacock the universal gas coin across blockchains and layers. So think about it. We've got a 10x buy and burn being ramped up, I guess. We've got this gas Peacock being used as a gas layer coin, and then we've got all these DeFis as well going to buy and burn Peacock. So these guys are putting quite the powerhouse behind the old Peacock. So yeah, let's keep a lookout for it. And we're getting and they got a lot of influencer support and a lot of community member support as well. So, going from strength to strength, and that's what you like to see. And we're still coming out of a bear market, for goodness sake. So who knows where this could go? It's going to be pretty interesting. All right. So that's a lot of the demand side. All right. So supply side, you got all the holders, whatever they do, all that sort of stuff. So, you have to take into that account as well. All right. So on balance, multiple chains, gas made simple, more coming soon. So very cool. They got a little animation on that too. On the post, not bad. All right, so let's keep going down there. 52 minutes. So look, hey guys, we've just got this hot off the press. So good thing I did talk about this because I was almost not going to. We got this August in-wallet swap on ZKX Wallet is going to be a game changer. That is huge revenue earning potentially, just like we see on Intim Anu Wallet with time. You get a lot of swapping value there. Probably the biggest swapping value supporting all the DEX aggregators. Yeah, look at that. And wallet swap there is going to be a game changer. Absolutely. For the first time, users can swap across a huge range of change with a 0.1% fee, so pretty cheap, while keeping stronger trade protection in place. Just look at the wallet swap market. Phantom is a 0.85% a fee. They're doing $500 to $600 million cumulative fees. MetaMask is 0.875. They're doing about 180 to 200 million cumulative fees there. Rabby Wallet, a 0.25% fee, is at 12 to 15 million cumulative as well. ZK Wallet is bringing the fee down to 0.1 while supporting more chains and aggregating liquidity routes there. Lower fees, more chains, better protection. Awesome stuff. Now, remember, some of the advantage here is that these guys are really moving into the privacy space and of course, intent-based trading. So they're providing a high-quality wallet. And then, of course, this is going to help them to get onto more chains, get on more listing sites, and get more users. We've already seen some pretty aggressive, download numbers for ZKX wallet. And so if that continues, it's quite stellar. And so the volumes will just start ratcheting up as people start to use that service when it kicks into gear. So potentially a really mega earner here for ZKX wallet. But, you've got to watch the number of downloads, watch the product expansion within the wallet, watch the listing sites and the bigger, all the influencers pick it up. And this could, really frontier of that intent-based trading, real DeFi product and leading in the space, right? So this is kind of what we're all looking at. It's certainly looking very good. We're going to, obviously keep tracking that success. And of course, success for ZKX Wallet and Liberty Swap is success for Peacock and success for PulseChain, more value coming through ultimately as well. And so more users, fresh users coming into PulseChain too. So, this is kind of the narratives that we're watching. Making money with ZKX Wallet and sending off fees from all chains to the two buyback and burn wallets. Those are the two that we're going to be tracking, right? We will build a huge buyback and burn fund for Peacock. So obviously a lot of economic energy coming in for this 10x buy and burn. Pretty impressive there. The web app will be our strength. This wallet must be super retail orientated. Absolutely. Got to make it so easy for people to use that not really thinking about all the clever things that you DeFi experts out there can do. They want to make it real nice and easy there. Pretty cool. So some good stuff happening there. I'm going to repost that. I think that looks really cool. All right, bam. All right, let's put the little bird in there. We've got the peacock. Let's get a peacock bird. You guys know, a roll. I'm gonna tease Sean here. Up only. Up only. Okay, he put something else next to this too, but I forgot what it is. Up only. All right, so kind of cool. That is nice there. I know Sean's laughing at that right now, but that's just the way it goes. All right, so he's probably on a plane going to Jamaica or somewhere. All right, so that's pretty cool. What else have we got going on there? Scroll down here. What else? What is that saying actually? We're excited. Build isn't. Yeah, okay. Liberty Swap here. So 9 hours ago, number one Liberty Swap for cross-chain swaps, Liberty Shield for privacy, Liberty Pool for reliable and secure V3 liquidity, Liberty Hypermarkets for prediction hedging. So these are the four DeFis that I keep talking about that they're earning fees from. And of course, the ZK wallet brings it all together. I call it the wallet of everything, the wallet of everything everywhere. That's what I always say. Solving many of the biggest pain points of trading PulseChain, from gas management to transaction reliability. Coming soon. And this is some of the big stuff. They got more than this, but they got Liberty Lend coming. You guys know this is all where a lot of the money's made at the moment in crypto. So Liberty Lending, Liberty Perpetuals, obviously huge there. Also brings on commodities and stocks, pretty big. And of course the on ramps as well, off ramps, including I guess multiple options, CFI, Cash App type things, and the DeFi solutions like Peer from BNB Chain. I think it's Base Chain, sorry. So yeah, exciting there. The full stack is coming together onwards there, so kind of cool. And I almost forgot our little Liberty DEX. Yeah, so they took Liberty DEX down, right? They were refactoring it. It was a bit sluggish, but that comes back. That's going to be another good earner as well, and no doubt be picked back up by the DEX aggregators. So pretty cool. At least it has limit orders, DCA mode, and an anti-MVE. It's is on its way back. So another big earner there. Very cool. So there's 4 big earners plus 4 already. That's 8 big earners. I think they're going to go well beyond that, past 10. So exciting times. These are all big projects on PulseChain, and make ZKX wallet integration even a bigger deal there with all those services, nice and friendly and relatively safe, right? They were vetting a lot of the third-party dApps as well on there. So some good stuff happening there. I think that's kind of it, is it? Yeah, I think we'll stop there. I got 9 hours ago. I don't like to miss anything, but there's lots of other stuff in there. Go check that out. Got a lot of things there. Here's this peer cash, DCA there, cash out button, USDC to Venmo, Revolut, Cash App, etc. So that's coming to PulseChain too, and multi-chain, of course, but with an omni-chain strategy. So pretty awesome. All this DeFi coming, top tier DeFi coming from Liberty integrated in the wallets. Build up that wallet, getting massive downloads. I should go check it again. And then, of course, the 10x buy and burn mechanism, etc. It's pretty exciting. Right, I think we're going to move there. There we go. That's Peacock. Let's see where it goes. 1.2 cents for today. Buy and burn almost at 5 million on the top supply there, and plus the 154 million. Let's see where that goes there, and only about 30 million or so, something like that on the chain. All right, so that's pretty cool. Let me get back here. Actually, I've gone too far here. I've got rid of Dex Arena. Let's quickly get into Hex, and then we'll come back to the top 100. I'm sort of flutting around here, but let's get to Hex. Actually, before we do Hex, let's go back to the top 100 because I want to do it in order, as you guys know. Let's go back here. All right, so those are the top ones right now. We've got the Peacock 9mm, our second biggest DEX aggregator. DEX, I should say. That is doing up 3% today. That's continuing, isn't it, just to power up, I think. So look at the daily. Yeah, that's a weekly, but the daily there still continuing to go up. They're not breakout levels yet, but keep a lookout for it. I mean, it's just delivering, and the high volumes there looking good. ProveX, I also think is going to be on the move at some stage. 5,500 here at the moment on the price. 40 5,500, up 2.7%. Let's look at the biggest pair, the USDC pair, almost back at 900K. And let's look at the daily. That's the daily chart. So looking pretty good. Let's go back here, 9th of June, and it is up over 65 days, up 78%. And it has got a bullish cross there on the 21 moving average over the 50 moving average. Looking at the 4-hourly quickly. 4-hourly there, we're at 50 on the RSI. So and we're sitting on the 21 4-hourly moving average. So still looking pretty bullish there. And we came way off the bottom there. Look at that, 4 zeros, 3,000. Now we're at 4 zeros, 54. So this might actually, be on the move soon, in a bigger way than it already is. Top hat there, tied in the Peacock, down 1.8%. Had a bit of rotation in the Peacock, isn't it? So that's kind of held it back a little bit there. But Crypto Coffee wants to really get this going. I'm sure he could at any time. Just has to start talking about it a lot more. We've got Finvestor there, $2.41. At 1.1%, of course, also benefiting from, I guess, Finvestor now, DEX V3, up there at number 5 on the volume. So that's ticking away there as well. Let's have a quick look at Finvestor, $2.41. And nice little move. These are weekly candles, been around for a while. And what's that up? 190%, 2.9x in 2 months, $2.43. So keep a look out for that. I'm not sure. I have to go get a bit more into the details of the economics of the DEX and stuff. But that may be very bullish too. Sean says, absolutely up only, baby. Yeah, talking about the Peacock there. Yeah, that's absolutely going good. All right, let's get moving on. So, we've got a lot of good stuff happening on the chain. After a long 11 months of miserable time, we've now got the last 2 months being pretty green, pretty happy, friendly there. So exciting times. What else there? We got coming down, we got UFO, which has just recently been launched over a month ago. It's up a little bit green. And then PLC, Pulse Bitcoin, the OGs from the council there, along with Fat Sammy, green there as well. So we've got 41 coins that are green today, 41 pairs, I should say. Got to be very specific there. And everything else is slightly red. It's a red fire. All right, so the big down chart today is SHIB Inu, down 15%. One of our I guess, big memes on the chain. It's got 29K liquidity, 5,000 volume, sitting at some massive market, ridiculous. But we got definitely pumped over the last few days. And what are we up? We're up about 930%, guys. So it's a 10.3x in 8 days. So they're there, but you just never know when someone's going to bring that volume in. There's the old SHIB, but it is down 15% today. You can see that red candle bring us down a little bit there. All right, the next one is Halgo. It's a Hex derivative. It's down 10.78%. This is also one of the ones that have done a massive X's, right? So off the bottom here from the 14th of June, it went all the way up to 740%, so 8.4x currently still up, 480%, so 5.8x here at the moment. So still doing pretty good. Obviously, Hex is down today, which we're going to look at next. Hex is all the peers at number 88, all the way down to number 95 here, down about 9.5 to 10%. So let's zoom in on Hex right now, and we'll clip this video out as well. This is the next video clip. All right, so we are sitting looking pretty good still in the chart. Obviously, we knew that we were going to have a bit of profit taking coming in. I mean, come on, guys. We all know, if people are picking it up on the way, they can make nice little gains, and you get all the speakers that have get out. And of course, it's been a mega gain, right? It hasn't been small. We have come off the bottom. Obviously, picking off the bottom, very, very difficult. Maybe limit orders, a good limit order system. No, maybe the switch X is that slick. You can pick that sort of stuff up if you have that. But generally, down the low area that some people have been picking up, certainly on these days. But if we, let's theorize that we did, then we're at 0.0065, 6,500, and we take it to the top on the 10th of August. It's a 450% gain. It's a 5.1x or so. So pretty massive from that potentiality. Let's assume that most people didn't pick it up, but a few people picked it up from maybe 7,200, and maybe they sold it out, not quite at the top, but up here. That's still a 4x, right? So if you still did that, still 4x. So there's a bit of that going on. Certainly a lot of 2x's in there as well. And so some of those people are going to take a bit of profit, right? So, all right. So we have got a 21 on the daily. We've got a 21 moving average, a bullish cross that's played out beautifully, and so on. That's where we are right now. Let's pick up a fib as well. Fib, we're doing it a little bit early, but we'll pick up fib and take it from there. So, we've come back, already tucked to 61.8. So that was a very bullish sign. Already come up here. I think we've got pretty good support with the 21 moving average at 2,200 to 2,350. So that's down in this zone. And if we did do that in the short term, that would be a retrace. Let's take it down to the 21 or 34%. So that's significant if you're holding that long. If we did just to the 38, that's 2,350. So when I say that's 2,300 of a penny, and that's a 31% gauge there at the moment, we're down about 21%. So it doesn't take much when you get this rally. So that would be, we're currently at 2,700th of a penny. We did get to our target though. We got to our target, guys. We got to our target, which is pretty cool. It's always good when that plays out, isn't it? So let's go to the 4 hour to see what we've got left on the energy there. Let's go back and let's look at the 4 hour. Bam. Actually, before we do that, let's look at the RSI because that RSI is down at 62, so it's elevated but not overbought. The stochastic's way down at 32. So I think the chart's still looking very good, guys. Still thinking it's very good here. And let's see what happens, what news we get out with the BPI and with the regulatory, whether that gives us a little bit of run on the weekend. That could all fuel a nice little run continuation of this, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at there. 4 hour also give us a little bit of fuel. Well, we're down here at 44. Stochastic, the stack is down at 4.4. We're just below the 50 here at 27. But still looking pretty good here. We're at the support level we had on the way up back here earlier, and also just below where we were on this previous top. So I still think we're looking pretty good. And on the horizontal, along with our daily averages on the 4 hour, we're still looking in a good area of resistance and support. So that I think that 22, 23 penny is definitely I think a strong support level here. On this uptrend, but still looking very good indeed. So if we do come down, maybe that's the tap. That's the third of the gain from the bottom. So we'll see how that goes. But certainly, I think everything's generally looking strong to the upside with that support at 22, 23 under a penny. Let me know your thoughts on that. The weekly, the longer time frame now. So we're skipping over the long time frame. Still got plenty of room to move. 59. We are pretty elevated in the stochastic. These are kind of lag numbers here. We've got the 21 weekly moving average at 1,400th of a penny. And we're currently obviously pulling back here a little bit there. On a horizontal, we've also got that 2,300 again. So we've got a lot of moving averages and 2,100 here. The Fibonacci also supporting that. So a lot of, those are three measures that are also giving a lot of support, that 22, 2,300th of a penny. Currently just below 2,700th of a penny at the moment. And we reached our target, right? So remember that. This is our weekly target. And that was that's been coming down though. So that originally, when we were really talking about it, was at a third of a penny, and it's now down at 31/100th of a penny, and we're just below that. So a little bit of a red day for another green day to the upside. I still think we're looking very good. We get that positive news, and then I think we're up to the upside on the weekend, and kind of cool. Then after that, then it's question mark, right? Question mark after that. Obviously, if Pulse continues to rise, PulseChain's still got a bit more room to run. We can break down heading towards 1200. Then that's supportive of Hex here. And then after that move, I think that's the end of the first wave for me. And then we need a bit of consolidation. It's kind of the way I look at it. So we'll see how that goes. This assumes no massive God mode candle comes out of the woodwork and pushes it up at the stage. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, so Jerry's in house. There's thoughts on Doge to ETH ratio. Do you think Doge do another big run like it does every cycle? Like I said, I think I'm really waiting for X Money wallet to help support that. I think that's probably what I've been looking out for. Let me know your thoughts on that, Jerry. All right, so yeah, let's see where we're going here. So that's kind of where we are. We've done pretty well. We hit our target. I mean, what else can we say? And I just think we needed just a bit of console here and then blow past. So that Pulse and the Hex both looking supportive still of a move higher here. The only thing on the weekly stochastic a little bit high. That's probably the only negative there. All right, so that is a Hex chart. So I'll clip that out and post it out there. Let me know your thoughts on that, of course. Those are just my opinions based on the chart there using 3 measures. And you could add a lot more measures in there trying to work out those supports, but I think they're pretty reasonable, been playing out pretty well so far. All right, let's go to the PDI. We're up to an hour and 26 minutes, so we're going to finish in a few minutes. But we've got PDI. I said we're sitting at 21/100 of a penny, still miles away from $1, but it's up 3.2% for the week. Obviously, this is one of our biggest communities. It's still one of our top volume peers. It has a lot of influence support, particularly SOMI. So yeah, it's still got the life in it. It is up in the last 2 days, up from 18/100 of a penny to 21/100 of a penny. But let's look at a wider view. Let's have a look at the weekly movings here. You can see, let's log this as well. You can kind of see we're just humming, or we're definitely on an uptrend, but it's got a lot of resistance here, right? I'd say a lot of resistance at 1/4 of a penny is pretty much where it's sitting. So if it breaks that, yeah, could have a nice little run. Certainly looking peppy for the future. I see this going up in the future, all things equal. No real mechanism yet for $1. I don't see that happening, actually. I know there's a lot of theories about second layers and all these other things going on, but none of those theories have come to the market, have they? None of them. So maybe one will eventually, but so far, nothing yet. Peacock busting a move, blasting past 1.2 cents up on a year. I think that's definitely one of the hottest things right now. Obviously, I did say that I expected Peacock to move at some stage. Obviously, didn't move with the Richard cause because obviously Hex and that were moving. I do expect PulseX to move as well. I think that's one of the big movers I'm expecting to happen. Yeah, so pretty good. Probably good time to sell the news for X Money, says Jerry. Well, if they get crypto wallet in there, dude, I mean, it's going to be massive, isn't it, Jerry? Isn't it going to be merry? I don't know if that's a sell the news event. You're talking about the number of users. How many users using X every month? I don't know, 1 billion or something. I don't know, some pretty big number. Just a fraction of that using the X wallet, and that will probably grow. Sell the news is probably a short game if it did happen. I would think that's a pretty mega adoption story, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be a mega adoption story? I consider X Money going to be one of those routes to mass adoption, just like we're going to have for Ethereum. We're going to have Mr. Beast probably be that mass adoption route for Ethereum, plus maybe financial institutions as well. I mean, Tom Lee maybe be talking to banks and bank accounts for retailing ETH on there too. So I mean, these guys are up to a lot of big stuff. This is the big play out. This is the big retail phase. I know institutions are coming in early because they're setting us up for this, guys. We're moving a lot of finance and institutions coming over to crypto. So I don't know. I don't see that at all. I see it just a mega move. Those are my thoughts on it. Let me know let me know your rationales as well. But yeah, it just seems like a no-brainer at this point. That's why I say we're just in these final last couple of months. Really, we've already got institutions coming in. Bad news, not really selling down the markets. What would be the catalyst for a fourth wave down? Question mark. And so yeah, we haven't really been seeing that too much. I think we're not quite out of the woods yet. I agree with that, but man, it's certainly looking promising. All right, inflation's key coming up. We're getting a lot of regulatory support, and if we do get the Clarity Act going through on the 15th, it's still questionable, right? Because we've got the midterms, and we need those oil prices come down. Still got quite a few variables. We're still in a bit of a mixed ocean there, but slightly more tailwinds than headwinds, I would say, is my summary there. All right, so that is PDI, and if we go back to CoinList here, now I don't know whether they've kept up to date exactly with all the LP pools in here, but if we look at the 24-hour volume based on what do they call it, CoinList, you can still see that PulseChain, USDC, and Hex and a DAI from Ethereum. We've now got 4 coins doing over $1 million. Remember, we only had PulseChain essentially. Now we've got all this activity here with all this bridge value. Isn't that great? I used to just talk about PulseChain and then we used to have about 6 coins over 100K, remember? And so that's changed a lot. Now we've got 4. And we got PDI there still elevated. It's 624K volume. It's got a lot of DeFi support. There's quite a few protocols sitting in there as well. And then you got Wrapped ETH, PulseX, Hex from Ethereum, Tether from Ethereum, Wrap Bitcoin on PulseChain sitting at $221 now. That might be interesting. It's had a nice little gain, 70%, 22% in the last 24 hours. So Wrap Bitcoin getting a bit of stuff. You might want to look out for that. Last time what it rallied to 2.5 and 2,500, I think the first time, 1,200 the second time. But you can check the chart for that. But that's looking interesting. Then ProveX 181. This new token giving tree, which I haven't checked the security around that, so be very careful. 151, Incentive 146, Tropa 134. So we've got 14 coins that are over 100K on CoinGecko's PulseCoinlist site, and Peacock not too far away, 70K there. That's pretty cool. 14 coins, that's really cool. So like I said, when we get these volumes up, double, tripling, we now get all the volumes on these top pairs, obviously naturally doubling, tripling. Now we've gone from 6 pairs, 7 pairs to 16 or something, 15 pairs there. So onwards and upwards, bring on the numbers. Let's get back up to $20 million volume and start getting like 30 pairs over 100K. That'd be cool. All right, so kind of cool stuff happening there. I think we're going to wrap it up, an hour and 32 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the comprehensive coverage of PulseChain. We haven't done a lot of project stuff. We are looking forward to not only LibertySwap's rollouts of their ecosystems, but we've got so many project teams now really developing. As prices go higher, that just propensity just increases. We're going to get more and more developers launching stuff, and particularly some of the high revenue stuff that's in crypto. And we still get quite a bit of innovation on PulseChain too. So there's quite a lot of innovators across the space, from gaming through to DeFi, utility, etc. But the next big one is VersaVault from TripleDAD. So we're looking forward to that. So big shout out to TripleDAD out there. And the white paper is out, right? We saw that in the Monster thread, which is pretty awesome. So if you haven't checked out the Monster thread, do check it out. MVS Crypto, the editor-in-chief and the promotional lead for the Crypto Night Show, pushing out every week there on, the Mondays down under time, which will be, Sunday US time. All right, Monster thread 66 is out. Order 66. It's not Order 66, but we got number 67 coming out next week. Every week they just keep coming out, these Monster threads. Amazing there. The hottest PulseChain news. All right, and it has been getting busier. The last 2 weeks, the amount of news is almost doubled too. It is pretty getting exciting. So good vibes are happening. Prices up, portfolios are up, activity is up, DeFi and people activity as well. So get a bit positive. It's going to be pretty fun. And so far we're holding up pretty well. And if we get this regulatory stuff on Friday, good PPI, I think we're looking good for the weekend. Get some good weekly updates from the DATS next week. That's supportive of tapping that digital credit market. And of course, we already see Bitmine already bought another 13,000 ETH, it looks like, for this week. So the next weekly update is going to be good too. They are definitely getting lower on the cash. So I think they're coming up to a pivot point there. We might get some strategic news from them. I just have a feeling about it, because it's going to be interesting to see that. All right, take care, everybody. I'll catch you on tomorrow's show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the bell. If you're on X, smash the follow. Hit the repost button. That's the most important thing you can do on X these days. Hit that repost button and get more and more people onboarded to PulseChain. But as you guys know, I cover it all: economics, stock market, crypto majors, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and as well as PulseChain, which is kind of our passion chain, right? The passion chain for the upside. Certainly one of the best performers in the last month or two. So onwards and upwards for a good old PulseChain, to the moon, as we say, to the moon. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one. And actually, I was going to talk about a post. Should we do that? Actually, I was going to add that on, since we're just gone over time a little bit there. Let me just add that on as our last sort of farewell for the day. And let me just jump into this post that I did yesterday on Hex, just while we're there. Let's see here. Let's scroll down. It's down here somewhere. I've done so many posts lately. You just never know. Oh, actually, where did I go up there? Is it up this one? Yeah, this one here. Fun fact, if you had bought $1,000 worth of Hex on PulseChain at the 8th of June low, you would have turned it into $5,200 by the 10th of August. Now, obviously, that's the maximum ranges, but somewhere in between there, you would have made. Price went up 420% or 5.2x in 63 days. And then, of course, a nice flashback is comparing it to Hex on Ethereum, because I guess PX is kind of the new Hex on Ethereum, even though we've got Hex on Ethereum too, which is probably going to be pretty close. Flashback there, Hex on Ethereum did 13 parabolics in 2020, 2021, doubling in price every circa every 48 days. Where will it go to next? Well, indeed. And of course, we looked at that earlier. But this is probably interesting there for those that are not too familiar with Hex Pass on Ethereum. It was one of the top 5 coins on Ethereum there. And look at the doubling in prices. So, 31st of January, it was 0.0011 price. So that's pretty similar to where we've been recently. I think we started at 555, didn't we? I think we started 55. And so 20th of March, we went to 0.0023. In between this time, we went to 8th of May there to 0.0046. We had the God mode candle right in the middle here. Between these times, I think it was in the April time there, something like that. Oh, I think it was made this just before the May. Actually, it was in the middle here, so I did a little bit of selling in there. 26th of June, we went to 0.0092, so just below 1 penny. 14th of August, we were at just under 1.9 cents. 20th of October, we were at a third of a penny, which is pretty crazy, right? Pretty crazy. 20th of November there, we were at 0.7 of a penny. And this is around the big payday, right? So then the 8th of January, this is after we had a God mode candle on the New Year's Eve, and then we got to 1.4 cents on 8th of January, so it was just after a week after the God mode candle there. And then 26th of February, we're at 3 cents. 16th of April, 21, we're at 6 cents. 4th of June, we're at 12 cents. 23rd of July, we're at 24 cents. And then 10th of September, at the top of the market, we're at 48 cents or 52 cents on one of the smallest centralized exchanges, I think it was. So essentially like a 10,000x or so, approximately, was Hex. And of course, a number of people got pretty wealthy after that. All right, so we did have the AA lobby running, all right, obviously into the November, the big payday in that first half. And all that ETH getting garnered in there, pretty big numbers. All right, so that's the question. How much of that ETH does Richard still have? That's question 2. Right, so that is in addition to the PulseChain and PulseX sacrifices. So question mark there. So that's the magic question, right? The magic question there. Let me know your thoughts about that. Leave it in the comments. All right, we're definitely going to finish now. We're up to an hour and 40 minutes. Time to go. Too much pumpaliciousness going on. But hey, look, it's getting exciting, isn't it? That first wave, not quite there at the top. Maybe we've got one more leg of the first wave to go. Let's see how those charts are certainly looking promising. And if we get some good news in overnight, then maybe it continues for that final stage of the last leg rather than going down again. But there we go. All right, take care, everybody. Subscribe, like, share the bell. As I say, I'll catch you on the next one. I'm going to go to the wardrobe now and get my costume and fly away, as I always do every day. All right, bye for now.